Project Tribute Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to aiding our nation's first responders. Our vision and mission is to enhance the life-saving capabilities of our first responders through raising awareness and funding for the life-saving work that they do. Our goal with the podcast is to be an educational avenue and a method for our heroes to express themselves. In the podcast, we will discuss various tough subjects. Some of the subjects may be uncomfortable or controversial. Our guests have the right to share their thoughts and ideas, and for our listeners to hear the unedited words of our guests. The Foundation's role is to showcase a diverse array of thoughts and opinions within the first responder community. If you hear something that you do not agree with, please consider reaching out to us at projecttributefoundation@gmail.com and join our podcast. If you're a first responder and you would like to share your story, we truly would love to hear from you and learn from your experiences. Please enjoy this week's show, and as always, like, comment, and share to help us grow. You can find more information at www.projecttribute.com. Thanks and have a great one.
Hello, this is James Lawson here with Project Tribute Podcast. Here in another segment, another episode. We have our guest with us, a very special guest.
John Wayne.
All right, John Wayne here again. So, today on this segment, I wanted to focus on another thing that I like to touch on in every series that we do, being fitness and health. So, as first responders, our jobs are very demanding physically, very stressful, but a lot of us do not take care of ourselves health-wise, and it can be hard. It really can. It can be anything from the job's super stressful, and you're just out of it and you're tired and you don't want to exercise, eat right, stuff like that. Or, I was in this position when I was on nights, when I worked nights as a patrolman, was there's nothing open.
Right.
Except for crap food.
Yeah.
So, you got to eat, right?
Yeah.
You're there for 8 hours. There's some people who work 12-hour shifts. You got to eat at some point. So, eat what's available to you.
Right.
So, what are some things that you see on the EMT and fire side that can cause guys to, not really focus on their health as much as they should, and you personally just kind of elaborate on that?
Well, as far as like the eating deal, we'll try and go on the ambulance. We'll try and go out to eat.
Yeah.
At somewhere that's decent. That's going to be a decent meal,
But
relatively good for you.
Are you able to? But when you do that, you're still available, right? Like
you're still available for calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's been several times we've sat down at some place like that, and then get a call. And then they'll be setting your food down, and it's like, we gotta go. Like, emergencies take precedence over this. So you get up, you run out of the restaurant, and you go get in the truck, and you go run the call.
Yep.
Well, now you have the option. You either can try and go back to that restaurant that now may have a 45-minute wait.
Yeah.
To get into.
Yeah.
Or you can go across the street and get a cheeseburger from a fast food joint.
Just like that.
Just that fast.
Super quick. Yeah.
Eat it in the truck while you're going to the next call.
Yeah.
And so, it's just sometimes ease and convenience.
Oh, yeah.
Supersedes health.
Oh, for sure.
Because we're on, like when we're in our ambulance, we're on call for 24 hours. To 48 hours, depending on what schedule you work.
Yeah.
So, and we try to cook.
I was going to ask that. Do you guys at least have a kitchen or a kitchenette in your?
We have a kitchen at the ambulance base that I work for.
Awesome. Okay.
But it's if everybody goes out on calls.
Yeah.
So you go, say everybody puts $10 in, and you got $60, $70, and you go to the store and you buy groceries, you come back and you start cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then there's a major incident or just an extreme volume of calls.
Yeah.
while you're trying to cook. Well, then it's half cooked food.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to put it up.
No, sure don't.
No,
you gotta go.
You gotta go. So then when you come back, you've already spent $60-$70 collectively.
Yeah. And that's food. If you may not be able to start that food back up again, depending on what it is too.
Yeah. Right. And now it's gone bad.
Yep.
So what do? Well, all right, let's go down the street.
That's right.
We walk
get some French fries.
Walk into the local convenience store even.
Yeah.
And all right, well, they've got a deal of Crispitos and whatever deep fried
some chicken strips, some French fries, yeah.
And so that's what that's gonna be your dinner because and
or hey, you want to order a pizza or something like that.
Yeah. And so you end up just not eating healthy.
And the problem isn't that, obviously we're not saying, oh, you can never eat fried food, you can never eat pizza and stuff. I've been taking my fitness pretty seriously this year, finally. But I mean, I still enjoy pizza, fried food every now and then. The problem is because of the schedule and stuff in your working environment, it ends up being every time you're at work.
Yes.
You're eating something unhealthy because of the convenience of it.
You guys, I mean, you work at more days a week. Ours is, on the ambulance side, we work 2 days a week.
Yeah, but you got all those meals. You got six meals in that, and that's if you only eat 3 times a day. That's not including snacking and stuff. So I mean, it's almost the same. I only have to worry about 1 meal, if that, during my 8-hour shift. But since you guys are there for 2 whole days, I mean, you got meals and snacks to worry about.
Right.
So
yeah.
And do you have a gym on your facility, on your premises?
We do have some workout equipment. I wouldn't call it a gym,
but it's just something you can pick up and put down.
You can pick up, put down, and you can do. But for us, again, we dress professional.
Yeah.
Collared shirt.
Yeah.
Pants, boots. Well,
it's like, do you want to get into workout stuff, and then a call comes out, then you have to throw
right, and then a 911 call comes out, and then you're trying to take your sweaty, nasty T-shirt off, put your polo shirt back on.
That's tough, dude.
It's a true balancing act.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You try to do it, and then it just never seems to work out in your favor.
Has anybody tried? I always go back and forth with this, but meal prepping, something like that, like just having okay, I'm gonna be working 48 hours. I'm gonna pre-make 6 freaking meals, put them in the fridge. And then at least you have the convenience thing checked, because you just throw it in the microwave or something, or saute it, heat it up, whatever. Right. But it's still something quick. But the problem is cooking all that stuff beforehand.
Right. Well, so for my shifts that I work, we try and have that family atmosphere.
Yeah.
So if we go out to eat, we go out to eat together.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm not saying it always happens and anything like that.
Yeah.
But we try and eat together.
Yeah.
So
build the camaraderie, stuff like that. Absolutely.
And so we cook together, we eat together, like we go out together, or whatever the case is.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And
so then you don't want to be the guy eating alone.
Yeah. And then so you're over there eating your nice steamed vegetables that you brought from home. And then everybody's looking at you like, where's my vegetables?
Yeah.
Give
me some of that, you weenie.
So, I mean, and I know some people that I work with that they have their own little setup.
Yeah.
That they eat and all that. And that's great.
You can't get away with fasting when you're working 48 hours.
No, Lord, no.
I mean, you got to eat something.
Yeah. Your body would give out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially doing the stuff that you do.
Well, and that's the other thing, doing 24, 48-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Is, I always tell people we live on nicotine and caffeine.
Yeah. That's man. Thank goodness you hit on that. I totally forgot about caffeine. Oh my God. It's like first responders and caffeine go hand in hand.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, to be a first responder, you got to have something caffeinated.
You got to. I only work 8 hours, but being on the morning shift, I get up at 4:45 a.m. and report to shift briefing at I have to be there by 5:45. So, and I can't go. Realistically, I should be going to bed at like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
8 p.m. I got kids and a spouse. It's not happening.
Right.
You know? She would look at me crazy if I went to bed before the kids got put to bed.
Right.
You know? And then you have to try to spend time with your spouse too afterwards. Right. Or, you know, hey, maybe we got into an argument or something, and I'm wanting to, you know, the kids are asleep now. Maybe I'm wanting to play video games or something. You know, to
right, because that's
have
your
my
decompression.
Time. Exactly. So I don't go to bed until like 10:30 p.m., sometimes 11, and you wake up, and the first thing I'm thinking about is, okay, I just got to get the clothes on, get the shift. When shift briefing's over with, I got to go get an energy drink.
Gotta go get something caffeinated.
Yeah, you got to get something caffeinated. And you know, there's been times where I've sat down and thought, I was like, man, I'm ingesting a lot of caffeine every day. You know, and then if I work out that day, I'm taking pre-workout on top. There's some days where I go, by the end of the day, I've almost ingested 800 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah,
which is a lot.
That's a lot of caffeine,
right? You know, you got maybe 2 energy drinks. You got one in the morning to wake yourself up, and I try to do, the caffeine's the issue, but as far as sugar and stuff, I get, you know, the cleanest energy drinks that I can find, with no artificial sweeteners, no coloring, none of that stuff, 0 sugar, you know, stuff like that. But you still got all that caffeine, right? So you got energy drink in the morning, and then towards the end of the shift, like the last 3 hours or so, that's when on mornings, that's when we start getting busy.
Right.
Towards the end, because people are going on their lunch breaks, they're getting home from work, whatever. That's when they want to call in. So that's when we get busy. So I need a little pick me up. So it's 2 energy drinks. The lowest one that I can find at Quick Trip and stuff is like 200 milligrams.
Yeah.
You know, so 400, right? And then if I go to the gym or something like that, right?
Right.
I use pretty high dose pre-workout to get my blood flowing and stuff, and just get me amped and get me ready to go. And that could be like another 200 to 300 in that one scoop. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's quite a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, how else do you have to be alert? You have to be alert, and you have to be ready to go.
Right.
I mean, what do you do? Right? I mean, it's tough, because I mean, there's this thing called reality.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I can't be tired at work. Like, I can't fall asleep in my car or anything like that. I gotta be doing my job, right? So how do you, especially if it's like a lull day where you're not feeling that good, you know, your motivation's kind of low. It's like, well, it doesn't really matter. I still got to serve the public, so I need a little pick me up.
Still got to do the job we signed up to do.
Exactly. So it's tough, man. You combine nutrition with trying to get to the gym after your shift, and it can be tough. I see why a lot of us are out of shape, but here's reality again. At the end of the day, you got to be in shape to do this job. You know, I mean, you got to. I mean, the stress alone, if you're severely overweight and out of shape, just the stress alone of the job can kill you a lot earlier than you know, because you got the stress, and then you already have like some kind of heart condition that you're developing because your eating habits and your workout habits are so bad. So I mean, you could be taken out of commission super quick, you know, at a young age. And then not only that, but just like in my aspect, say you were going to a hot call or something like that, and you know, I need backup or something like that. The person that's coming to me isn't in the best shape. I have to worry, like, okay, if something happens, am I going to be able to, is this person going to be able to have my back properly?
Right.
And am I going to be able to have this person's back properly? You know, there's just so many things that go through your head. And then, like, in your case, there's a lot of lifting, carrying people.
Yes.
Moving heavy objects to get to people.
Well, a lot of what we did, or I say a lot, we do a lot of lift assist.
A lot. Yeah.
People that have slid out of their recliners, fell out of bed, whatever the case is, and they're elderly.
Yeah.
And they cannot physically get themselves back up.
Yeah.
So they call, we go over there,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my partner, and sometimes depending on the size of the person,
yeah,
we have the fire department come, and that way we don't hurt ourselves trying to help you.
Yeah, literally.
But but we do a lot of heavy lifting of picking up, well, just people in general.
Yeah.
But if you take our stretcher inside of a home, okay, but somebody's in respiratory distress, you take the stretcher in there, you get them on the stretcher, you get them on oxygen, and then you've got to take the stretcher and the patient down not 2 flights of stairs, but like, a small stairway coming up, because it's a crawl space house. So you got to have steps to get up there.
You do a few flights of stairs with a lot of weight on, and you're
yeah. And we're not even, I mean, we have a stair chair for flights of stairs.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So
at least that helps out.
Right. So, and it's a chair specifically designed to go downstairs.
Nice. Okay.
But, we're not taking every patient out of a crawl space home that has 3 or 4 steps to get up into it down in a stair chair.
Yeah.
We just grab the stretcher and.
I see you guys, man. Sometimes there's so much debris and stuff, or things in the way.
Oh yeah.
Or the house is really small and the hallways are really small, so you have to. There's a lot of physical work that's involved.
Yeah, I tell people we're part-time furniture movers too.
Literally, yeah.
Because like
I've seen it so many times.
I've probably moved a sewing machine in my time. Probably 7 or 8 times I've relocated this sewing machine in a house, because our stretcher will not go in the house and make the turn with where the sewing machine is.
Yeah.
So the first thing I do is I go,
God dang it.
Hey, we gotta get, we gotta get the sewing machine moved so we can get, it's on a big desk type deal,
Those older things are heavy.
Yeah. We rearranged furniture, couches and beds and everything. That way, when we move the patient, they get the smoothest transition possible.
Oh yeah, you don't want it to be a bumpy ride for them or anything.
Going from their bed, their recliner, to our cot.
And here's another one. I remember when I was in academy doing chest compressions on a dummy.
Physically exhausting.
You do some good, absolutely. You do some good, proper chest compressions.
We call that high quality CPR.
Yeah. You do that for a minute straight, and I'm pretty in shape guy, and I'm gassed, man.
Yeah. Well, so one thing we haven't talked about, but I also teach CPR.
Oh yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So, and I tell every class I teach, I don't care if you do CrossFit and you think you're the Hulk. Do 2 minutes of high quality CPR.
Oh yeah.
And then come talk to me about it.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see how
you
in
are
shape.
Sweating and on your arms are on fire.
And in our case, add 80 miles an hour, 70, 80 miles an hour down the highway on top of that. So you're in the back of a moving ambulance.
You're unstable. You're having to stabilize
sitting there
yourself.
Wobbling and and so CPR is probably the most exhausting part of my job.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can be doing that for an untold amount of time.
Yeah.
Keeping somebody together.
Hours.
Yeah.
Depending, situation has to be right. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody is going for hours.
Well, of course, but that also depends on your manpower in that specific scenario. Do you have somebody you can swap out with?
Well, so
you would hope yes.
So on the volunteer fire side, if I show up, so we're all volunteers.
Yep.
So you can get anywhere from 1 to 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's that call in that situation where you're the one guy, I'm in a rural area where the ambulance is 15 minutes out, 20 minutes. And so I show up within the first 3 minutes of the call.
Yep.
And now for the next 17 minutes, I'm doing CPR.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Let the person die?
Yeah.
You got to do it.
And it's one of those deals like you have to find the willpower within yourself.
Oh, yeah.
To know that and be in some sort of shape.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to do it and hope that a sheriff's deputy comes to help.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of them are CPR certified.
Yep.
So you get one of them to give you, like, I don't need you to do CPR forever. I need you to give me a couple minutes.
Yeah. So I can regain
Give me a couple
strength.
minutes. Let me get a breath.
Yep.
And then I'll take back over. But you know, you get that situation where you get 10 guys show up on the fire side.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you've got a plethora of people.
Yeah. You have the help that you need.
In which we have, with my agency, we have people that variety in levels of whether they're EMR all the way up to paramedic on the fire department.
Yep.
So we all kind of know what our roles and responsibilities are.
Yep.
And, you know, it kind of works out for us if we get that turnout.
Yep.
But with your municipal fire departments, you're going to get from 3 to 4 guys on a fire engine.
Usually. Yep.
And then you're going to have the two people in the ambulance.
Yep.
So, but like your municipal guys, they're not going to leave a fire truck sitting in front of this house so they can ride with you and help you.
Yeah. No.
So you're going to get 2 of their guys.
Yep.
Their driver is going to take the truck to come pick them up because they still have other emergencies they're going to have to run too.
No, absolutely.
So, well, as the EMT on a ALS level truck with a paramedic partner, I'm going to drive the ambulance to the hospital.
Yeah.
So I get it. Now you remove me. So you got my paramedic partner and 2 firefighters running a cardiac arrest by themselves.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
swap.
Yeah. It's like, well, and there's so many things you're trying to do. Compressions. You're trying to breathe for this patient. You know, you're trying to ventilate this patient.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to
it's a multi-step process.
Push cardiac drugs to help restart the heart, or you know, and all that stuff situation dependent. But
yeah,
you know,
the point is there's a lot going on, and if you're out of shape, out of breath, super quick, you're gonna have a really hard time. You know, because I mean, here's the thing. You know, just being blunt about it is the excuse of, okay, what happened here? Why did you stop giving? Like, let's use chest compressions as an example. Why'd you stop giving chest compressions? I was tired is not acceptable.
Yeah,
right. Or in my case, why didn't you like say there's a situation going on really far back, like say it's a more rural area still within city limits, but it's kind of more rural.
You've got some of those.
You throw your car in a park, you have to run after you park your car because you can't take it. Not everywhere you go. Right. So sometimes you have to park your car and you have to sprint to a scenario to get there fast. Why didn't you get to that scenario fast enough? You know, XYZ happened. I was tired. It's not an acceptable answer.
No.
Right. I mean, you got to get there. So, you know, I mean, it's just the reality. It's not picking on anybody or being rude or being mean or anything like that. It's just the nature of the job. I mean, you have, and that's not saying that you have to be like, you know, a top world tier athlete or anything like that. You just have to have a baseline level of fitness that allows you to do your job effectively.
Right.
You know, and I mean, if you can't meet that, is a problem. You know, it's something that we need to fix. Right. And like we talked about, it's not easy. You know, it's not difficult.
It's definitely hard.
You got to figure something out to get there because the public depends on you to do all these things to protect them. And you not being able to do something because you're not in good enough shape is not acceptable.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. So what are some things that that you do to try and maintain your fitness? You're a pretty fit guy. Like, you seem like you're in decent shape. I try to, like I said, this year, I tried to go to the gym as much as possible. I really try to focus on what I'm eating, especially when I'm off duty, because I can control what I eat.
You can control your off-duty life.
Yeah. And I try to stay on top of my supplements now. So taking my multivitamins, my B12, my vitamin C, D, E, all that crap.
Right. Well, I do the gallon of water a day.
See, I need to. I'm not very hydrated. I need to start doing that again.
That one is way. If somebody walked to me and said, and I've never done it before, you need to drink a gallon of water a day. Easy, I can do that.
Yeah.
Not until you try it.
Oh yeah.
And then it's
a lot of water.
And I'm like, oh my,
this is only this amount.
Yeah, it's awful. It's hard to do on shift because if I end up on a long transport, and I don't want to be sitting up there driving to a long distance facility trying to chug water with a critical patient in the back of my truck and then have to.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But I do that, and then before the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that, I was doing the gym and track pretty regular.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I need to get back onto that, but then
it's hard to not fall off during the holidays.
Well, just
Thanksgiving, Christmas,
between work, the fire department, going to visit family.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I'm not from here, so my family, my biological family is not around here.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you do have to travel.
So I have to travel, and so between everything, trying to visit and trying to, go to, everybody's like, well, come to my house for dinner and come to my house for dinner. And
you're like, okay, well, it is the holidays.
Oh, well, you love pumpkin pie. I made you this whole pumpkin pie. And,
you're like, you don't say.
I'm like, or everybody knows that my fatal weakness is cheesecake.
Oh man.
And they're like, hey, I made you this, I made this cherry cheesecake.
In your mind, you're like, who am I to say no?
And I'm like,
I don't want to be rude.
Well, yeah, they're like, I just made you a cherry cheesecake. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh no,
I can't throw it away. I don't eat that.
Give that to the dog.
Yeah,
no, I can't do that. I'm gonna be like, oh
slide that mother.
Slide that scoop some up over here. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, but so I've gotten out of the routine of that. But then now the balancing act for me is to balance work, the fire department, now adding another school class, to the mix, and then then still find time to sleep, go to the gym, and
sleep too. That man,
sleep deprivation is big in our field.
Oh, it is, and getting a full night. It can be the difference between feeling like crap and feeling like $1 million, man.
Well, when you work a 24-hour shift, you don't know. Like, yes, we sleep at the station,
but when you get a call, you're awoken.
But when you're
probably constantly being ripped from, because there's the different cycles of sleep.
Yes, so you're going from I'm sound asleep, I'm good, and then your heart rate's in the 60s because you're sleeping great.
Yeah,
everything's just slowed down and relaxed to the sound of that pager going off. To a critical call. So now your heart rates went from 60 to 120 in about 2.7 seconds.
Yeah. And you're not ever getting into your REM sleep or whatever it's called, the deep one where like the actual regenerative properties that come from sleep start to hit you.
Yeah, right? Because I know for me, whenever I lay down in my bed at the station to go to sleep, I've got a pager sitting on the table next to me.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly thinking.
Exactly. I was just about to hit on that.
Am I going to miss the call?
Yeah. You're probably subconsciously preventing yourself from going into a deeper sleep because you don't want to miss the page.
Right. Because I don't want to be that guy that's in there.
Tough, man.
Yeah. So.
Like driving to a call. Feeling like crap,
Yes.
So then what do? You grab some caffeine?
Yeah. Well, you take the patient to the hospital and then you go, well, here's Quick Trip.
Yeah. Before you know it.
And it's like, oh, I want a Red Bull or I want,
So true.
Well, then I'm drink that on the way to the station. Well, then you get to the station to your bed and it's like, man, I should have drank that.
I'm amped up now.
Like, let's go again.
Yeah, of course. And then a call doesn't come out. When you could be sleeping.
Right.
Yeah. And we say all this to get the point across that, it is tough, and if you're a first responder out there and you're wanting to, you realize that, hey, I'm not in the shape that I want to be, just you figure it out, get some help. There's probably guys on your agency that want the same thing that aren't where they want to be physically. Get a group together, do something, right?
Well, and I find it's easier if I have somebody else helping hold me accountable.
Oh, absolutely.
To go to the gym.
Yeah.
So if I have a coworker that's like, hey, we're going to the gym at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's fun too.
Like, all right, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Whereas if I lay down and I tell myself before I go to bed, hey, you're going to set an alarm and you're going to get up and go to the gym at 6 a.m.
Yep.
And then that alarm goes off at 5:30 or 5:15.
What the hell is that? Slap that.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Turning an alarm on at 5:15 in the morning? No.
It's completely different when you have somebody, maybe not depending on you, but somebody expecting something from you.
Yes.
You can let yourself down, right?
Right.
You shouldn't, but you can. It's a lot easier to let yourself down than to let somebody else down.
Right. So you got to have that.
Joe Blow, really, he's probably sitting at the gym right now. Let me get up.
Yeah.
And,
I have you a battle buddy.
Exactly.
To go to the gym with.
That's why they have that system in the military.
Yep.
It helps out. So, like I said, we say all that, not to pick on anybody or call anybody out, but it's just the nature of the beast. We all signed up to do a physically demanding, stressful job. We have to. I mean, at the very least, it's to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
This job can kill you.
Well, I found once I started going to the gym, I felt like I slept better.
Absolutely.
And I felt better whenever I woke up.
Absolutely. So, I mean, if you're not going to, it just has to be done. It just has to. And it's tough. I get it, but it just has to be done. There's really no other way to put it. Is that a page?
No.
Okay.
Somebody wants to talk on the phone.
Gotcha. So. All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead. Oh, real quick, I do want to touch on that. This whole time that we've been talking to John, he's actually still considered active. So if you got a page or something like that, right, you'd have to zoom out of here.
Well, and that's just because of like my level of dedication.
Yeah.
That the standard I hold myself to.
Yeah.
Is that yes, I'm a little outside of my fire district, but because it's a weekday, it's a work day.
Yeah. Always ready to help.
We're short staffed, that I feel like I need to be prepared.
Yep.
To if we were to get somebody's house was on fire.
Yep.
Yes, it would take me a little bit of time to get there, but I would
at least
still
somebody would get there.
I would be able to help my guys.
Yeah.
That are in town.
Yeah.
So they're not trying to pull my weight and theirs.
Yeah.
I'm going to get there and I'm going to start pulling my weight too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We're very fortunate that hasn't happened in any of these, but
hey, you never know, man.
But that is part of the volunteer world.
And it's cool that you being in a leadership position that you do that. So I do want to give you a shout out for that. That's awesome. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to end this segment. Great discussion, great topics. It's been great conversating with John Wayne. We're gonna definitely have to bring you on again so we can talk about some more stuff.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. This is James Walton signing off with Project Tribute Podcast and our special guest,
John Wayne.
All right, y'all take it easy out there.
This podcast is hosted by the Project Tribute Foundation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to aiding our first responders. Thank you for listening. For more information on our efforts, check us out at www.projecttribute.com. If you're a first responder that would like to share your story, contact us at projecttributefoundation@gmail.com. You can find us on various social media and podcast sites by searching the Project Tribute Foundation. 100% of donations are used to save lives while our retail store pays for any of our operational costs. Thank you again, and please be sure to like us, follow us, and share our foundation with your friends. Thank you and have a great day.